Hey YouTube, it's Gavin. I tried to make this video once and it was way too long. I am going to be doing a sharing / instructional video on hygiene for trans guys. I was socialized as a female for 28 years, and obviously the hygiene that I utilized was for that of a biological female for 28 years. Then I started hormones. I've been on hormones for almost 3 years, and when I started hormones very shortly thereafter, I began to stink, to be blunt. Not everybody experiences that, but most of us do. It is very talked about how our body odor changes. And I'm not knocking guys that embrace their body odor and don't utilize like commercial products or anything like that, because that's their choice, and that I'm not trying to knock that. What I'm going to do here in this video is just share with you what I use personally, what I've had to learn personally, and what works for me. So this is all just suggestion. I am not trying to dictate to anyone how they should handle their hygiene, nor am I criticizing for anyone regarding how they handle their hygiene. I'm just going to share with you what I do and what I have found that helps me monitor and kind of keep my body odor in check. Because I do live in Texas, and it does get very, very hot here during the summer, and so subsequently I perspire quite a bit. And I didn't really perspire before I started hormones, which was great, but now that I've been on hormones, I do sweat like a typical guy, and I really hate that, but there's nothing I can do with it. You've got to take the good with the bad. Some of the things I'm going to talk about in this video may be a little awkward. Some of them may be triggering. I am going to discuss things very generally below the belt line. So let me give you a trigger warning. That will be discussed very generally. So if that triggers you, then please, please, please stop now and go watch something happier, or that will make you happy. Anyway, so trigger warning for that. And oh, it is kind of awkward and kind of boring, so I decided to wear a bow tie to make it a little more fun. Alright, to begin with, your underarms are a big problem area for perspiration and for odor. A lot of trans guys do like to grow their armpit hair out because that is associated with being masculine. I personally still shave them. I have even when I was a biological female, I said, wow, I think guys should shave their armpits or at least trim them, because it just makes it so much easier as far as odor maintenance. But again, if you have armpit hair, I'm not criticizing that by any means. A suggestion to those of you that do enjoy armpit hair, because it can get really long. And the problem with armpit hair and like deodorant is the hair actually creates a barrier between your skin and the deodorant. For the deodorant to attain maximum effectiveness, it has to actually come in contact with your skin, because basically what deodorant does is sort of suffocate your what is the lay term? The pores in your skin that you sweat out of. That's kind of the whole idea of deodorant. So if you have a lot of armpit hair and you just slap some deodorant on real quick, the deodorant really doesn't come in contact with your skin, so it doesn't get the opportunity to achieve its full potential. And that's sad. Poor deodorant. Anyway, so a recommendation that I'll make is, if you like your armpit hair and you want to keep it, you can even trim it. I recommend getting a trimmer anywho, but they are wonderful, and you can actually get little guards. So, I mean, you could put it on the highest guard that's available, and I think it goes up to like 10 even, and just give it a trim so that it's still there, but maybe not quite as obstructive to the deodorant that you want to apply. Now, I'm going to go into types of deodorant. The scented deodorants are wonderful. I prefer them. The 24-hour well, they all say that. Okay, but the difference, so this is the same brand, okay? Not brand pushing at all. I'm just using these as an example. This one says 24-hour antiperspirant. This one says 24-hour deodorant stick, okay? The big difference there is, well, and there's a lot of stuff that they're speaking against it. It has aluminum in it. Allegedly, that can cause dementia and stuff like that over long term. I don't mind. I'm not bothered by that because, you know, humans live so long, so much longer than our evolutionary background really allows. So it's pretty much guaranteed that if you live past like 80, you're going to get some form of dementia because things that have aged just atrophy and get worn out. So anyway, this has aluminum in it, but subsequently is a much, much, much better guard against sweat and sweat odor. This does not have aluminum in it and is nowhere near as effective, and I'm speaking from experience. And I'm going to show you the difference in the texture. So this is, what is it, an invisible dry solid. So it's that typical white kind. And then this is the non-aluminum. So it looks like the glycerin soap, to me, is what it makes me think of. Not as effective. So for good odor control, I prefer an antiperspirant. And again, this is just me. I got this one, Old Spice Sweat Defense, and it's an antiperspirant. And it does that nonsense. There, see that? I'm making this face because it was really ucky for me. Like, I would pop it out a couple of pops and put it on, and it was really thick and cakey and just, ugh. I mean, I guess it was effective as a deodorant, but it got all over my shirt, and, you know, if you get too much deodorant on the armpits of your shirts and then you, like, wash it and dry it, it creates that permanent stain. Like, it's just gross. So I didn't particularly like that one, and this is another example of the non-aluminum deodorant. I mean, it's okay. This stuff, oh, that made me realize, this stuff, because it doesn't have aluminum in it, so it's not as cakey and it doesn't create as much suffocation of the pores. What I will use this kind for, I will actually apply it under my, I'm not sure what everybody calls them, trigger warning, I'm going to talk about my chest. I will apply them under the, I don't know what a good non-offensive word is. Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. So I will apply this under them and in the middle here, and if I can reach, like, in the crook of my back when I'm wearing my deodorant, and or when I'm wearing my binder, and it helps cut back on, like, the perspiration and the odor in the binder, because like I said, it gets really hot here, and so the non-aluminum deodorant is really good for that, and I like the non-aluminum for that because I am prone to acne, particularly body acne, and using the dry solid like this will break me out just like that. So I use the non-aluminum deodorant for that. And I mean, you can even, like, put it right across your forehead to help prevent, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. Anyway, yeah, I use the non-aluminum for that. And then what I will do after I have applied my deodorant under my arms is I will actually take my cologne. I have one that I use under my arms, and I will do 2 or 3 sprays and kind of flap my arms like a chicken to let it dry. And that really, really helps too. Because even when you sweat, you know that your body interacts with the cologne smell, and it works. And I'll use a different cologne than what I use, like, on my wrists and, like, my neck, because you create scent confusion. Because, you know, the human nose will, after a period of time, become acclimated to a smell or an odor, and you no longer smell it. So if you use one cologne under here and then one cologne everywhere else, then you kind of create scent confusion, which helps people smell you, and they're like, you smell good. I'm going to make a separate video for the stuff I use on my face, and moisturizers, because this one's already 10 minutes. So I will be right back.